The Jupiter Boys.
Hello, Rick.
Is it recording?
Hello.
I don't know why I did not do a spooky one.
Yeah, you'd think that would be the absolute time to do one. It's too late now, Quinn. But
Is it recording?
well, it is. It is in fact recording. And my name is Jim Jupiter.
Look at all these spooky noises. I don't know if I can handle it right now.
Well, you're gonna have to because this is the Halloween Spooktacular episode of the Jupiter Boys.
It's the spookiest episode of the year. Everybody's been looking forward to it. And this time, it's live spooks.
Yeah.
Spooks that are live.
It took us a second, but we got it figured out. We do have this show going live right this second. So far, nobody's listening to it because I sent the wrong link out to everybody. But I mean, you know.
He didn't even put the time zone of which time it was.
I can't.
In the original
it
link.
does it at UTC. It's stupid. It does it at Universal Time Zone. Anyway, we're the Jupiter Boys. Each week we get together and have stupid conversations.
So you can sit on your spooky bums.
This is true.
Your skeleton bums. You haven't done squats in 16 years.
The gym's been gone the whole time.
There never was a gym.
1 second while I grab my weed and my beer.
Oh my god, did you hear that one? It sounded like a werewolf burp. I liked it.
Oh yeah? What
Yeah,
about
it was like...
I got all sorts of good ones in here, man.
You hear it's like, there's like pig squeal and shit?
Really? I've got this insane person.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a baby crying.
Fuck. This is dark as hell, man.
I know, I did that on purpose. All right, you keep the listeners busy for a second while I go grab some beverages.
Why didn't you do this before the show?
Quinn, don't sass me.
So, listeners, just wanted to tell y'all a story about the time that a ding-dang got attacked by a bat in my own bathroom. Just to keep in the same kind of spirit of the spookiness. I got attacked by a bat in my own bathroom. So I was taking a shower. And it was going well. I was having a good time in the shower. I stepped out of the shower and I hear this flapping noise and I look up and there's a bat. And I do what any sane person would do when there's a bat in your bathroom and you're completely naked, is I fell backwards into the shower curtain. The bat took that as an invitation to then go towards me, to just fucking go hog wild on me. And it landed on the curtain right in front of me, in front of my wiener and everything. And and so I decided to wrap a towel around me. I don't know how I wrapped a towel around me. I think a shock had taken in, had set in at this point, and my roommate helped me out. Put it in a Tupperware. I might have told him this story already in the podcast, but
You definitely
it keeps in spirit of the spooky.
You certainly did. But you know what? That's okay. And you know what? The thing I love most about doing this live show is that it's somehow even worse than our typical our typical podcast.
Yeah, it's worse and it's better because at this point, I let it all roll off the tongue. Just everything that's up in this dome is just coming out. It's like word vomit. It's just this shoop boop 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 boop.
So Quinn, let's flip the coin of truth to decide who goes first in the topic-a-thon.
Yep.
So here we go. I've got the coin of truth right here. Would you like the logo side or the writing side?
I would like the spooky writing side.
It's very spooky. It's super spooky what it says on it, which is Radiotopia. Thanks, Radiotopia. We're not part of their network. We're part of Woodolph Shark, but whatever. Okay.
But I'm a supporter of Radiotopia.
Okay, it is actually the logo side.
Oh, even spookier.
It's very spooky logo. It's the most spooky logo you've ever seen.
It's a skull and crossbones.
That would be much spookier than what I had in mind, actually.
Actually, skull and crossbones is kind of pirate, so it's not really that spooky.
Yeah.
Scurvy.
So Quinn, uh, what I wanted to talk about today, and let me just turn down some of these sound effects because they're quite distracting. Uh,
I've just been tuning them out, really.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's fine, but they're very loud. Um, so what I wanted to talk about this week is last year for our Halloween Spooktacular, um, we kind of like got into. Actually, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. I honestly can't remember which year, but we got into kind of like what scares us the most. Remember, we were
Mhm.
like talking about like if you opened a door and found like the most horrifying thing you could imagine behind it,
Yes.
what would that
Yes.
be? And mine was like a crazy person eating children,
Yeah.
which is like I think pretty grotesque. But what I want to do,
Yeah, it's basically like it's like what this song Aqualung's about. It's just like, oh my God.
no, it isn't.
No, it's not. But it is pretty fucking weird.
I mean, that's like kind of what the Jethro Tull album cover looks like. The Aqualung
Yeah.
album cover does look like a man who's about to eat some children.
Right?
But what I wanted to get into this week, Quinn, is essentially ways of scaring the hell out of each other. Like I
Mhm.
want to put sort of some extra flavor on like a ghost story. So like I know, for example, that
Mhm.
you are particularly squeamish about aliens.
Okay, yes, yeah.
You know, good old space visitors. You know, like
Ooh.
classic alien style. You know, things. And
Yes.
so I want to talk about alien abductions specifically.
Oh, I love an alien. But
So,
the thing about aliens is
yeah.
I'm both terrified and immensely interested in them.
Oh, yeah. That's it, right? Like,
Yeah.
and in some ways, I think it's because it's like the things that scare you the most that are like the most interesting, you know? Like, they're the things
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
make you, I don't know. So, anyway, um, basically,
Spiders and snakes as well for me, and they interest the shit out of me because I'm like, what does a snake do all day? What does a spider do all day? I don't know.
right. Yeah,
They
it's like,
just creep the shit out of me the
what are
way
they
they
even
move.
up to?
What
So,
do they do?
what do they
I'm
do
Mark
all day?
Wahlberg. I'm asking, what do they
Hey,
do?
dog,
I
you're a
just want to
dog,
know.
right? What's that about?
You're a
Um,
snake. You slithering around the ground. How's your mother?
so, I guess I kind of wanted to get into the whole idea of like just trying to scare each other, right? Like
Right.
doing things that scare each other. So I want you to imagine that you're basically you're being abducted by aliens, okay?
Okay.
So let's say it's late at night and your eyes snap open and you're just like
Mhm.
surrounded in white light and
Oh no. You know what would be even creepier
what
is to scare me even more is if I woke up and I'm surrounded by white light and there's just like a bunch of aliens standing around my bed, like just staring at me, and I can't move.
yeah, well, and that's it, like you're completely surrounded by like aliens. They don't look as like, you know, like the classic grays with the big eyes.
Yeah.
They're like that, but like vastly more. I don't know, visceral. Like their skin doesn't feel as smooth. Like you can kind of see like this weird texture to it. They're kind
Hmm.
of glistening with a kind of moisture. Their eyes sort of emit this weird, like their whole bodies kind of emit this weird buzzing, and it like makes your teeth kind of hurt because like they're like
Yep.
communicating telepathically, and it's just like fucking with the inside of your head
Hmm.
and they're going to abduct you to the. So the next thing you know, you're just on their spaceship. Like suddenly, your room just disappears, and you're on their spaceship because they've like ported you there,
Yeah. They beam me up, Scotty.
and you cannot move at all. Okay, you are completely static, and suddenly, like one of the aliens approaches, and in the air above you. Like a kind of like a light, a beam of light in the shape of kind of like a scalpel appears, and it starts slicing up your torso,
Mm.
and you can feel every like ounce of pain of this. You can't move, but you can feel it cauterizing and burning as it like cuts you open,
Mm.
and seemingly on their own, your organs start to spread out, um, basically like just start to pull out of your torso, and and you can like the intensity in your head is getting more and more severe as the aliens kind of discuss what they're seeing.
Hmm.
And
They're like, this is an unhealthy human being.
yeah, it's like, oh my god, how many Sour Patch Kids has he eaten?
This is all just Sour Patch Kids. I see, Carl. I told you we had to destroy Earth. These
Hey.
motherfuckers are eating just too many Sour Patch Kids.
So we've got a listener. Welcome Fez Digivev to our live stream. It's our Halloween episode.
It's a Halloweener.
Feel free to call in if you'd like to contribute. Please be please be polite. So we're talking about things that scare the absolute bejesus out of each of us, and how we can scare each other. Quinn, another thing that I know that you're particularly
So can I have a turn? Can I have a
sure
turn
sure
scaring
sure
you?
let's do this.
Okay. So I know particularly that you were afraid of other people being near heights, not necessarily you.
Man,
being
you fucking like narrowed that down real close. It's like when I see somebody like near a ledge, fuck man, it's like Jesus Christ, that just like my stomach just drops at that moment.
So here's the scenario.
Okay.
You're gonna have a nice like day out with your SO, right?
Okay.
You can have a nice day out with them. This has been planned for a while. You're looking forward to it. You wake up on the day of.
Okay.
You're all of a sudden you're at the tallest tower in the world.
Oh my god.
I don't know, the one that the Tom Cruise runs up in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
The tallest, what is one of the tallest buildings in the
The
world.
one in Dubai or whatever.
And all of your family members are standing near the ledge, and they're all like, "We're gonna jump, Jim.
Oh my god.
We're gonna jump."
And there's nothing you can do to stop us.
And there's nothing you can do to stop us. We might have parachutes. We packed backpacks. Only half of us have parachutes.
Okay.
And then all of them just simultaneously jump, and I don't know. I don't know what happens.
I know
What do
you're
you think?
I know you're fucking
continue
with me,
this.
but like my palms, even just imagining the scenario of my loved ones being near like a ledge, are sweating. Like I can't watch any movies with heights without like getting like this. By the way, welcome Two Dudes with Do. Welcome to the show. Please feel free to contribute at all, like in the chat, or give us a call.
But be polite.
Be polite. Let's. This is
Or
our
we'll
Halloween.
boot ya.
This is our Halloween special. We're talking about things that scare the absolute bejesus out of each other. We're trying to freak each other out, essentially. So Quinn, you've done well with my near people's heights, because I would just
Very
shit
specific.
my pants and start crying immediately.
Oh yeah.
But what I
But
want
it's all like it's all like a Kingsman style like training scenario where
Oh.
it's like you passed, Jim.
they all just land in nets, and they're just like, haha, you stupid bitch, you thought we were actually gonna die.
Happy Halloween, motherfucker! It's July.
So, one thing I know, Quinn, that you are particularly squeamish about, and we've talked about it a couple times, is sounding, the sexual art of sounding, where somebody, inserts a metal rod into the urethra of a penis.
Oh, even just imagining it makes me squirmish.
Yeah. So here's what I want you to imagine, okay, Quinn? I want to imagine that you wake up and you cannot move your arms or legs. You've been strapped down to your bed, and you've lost your clothes. Your clothes are completely off, and there's a hooded figure. You can't see who or what they are, but in their hand they have a long sounding rod, and they take the tip of your penis and they squeeze it ever so gently to widen the urethra, and they start sliding the urethra rod in, and it is uncomfortable. There's no doubt about it. That we just lost a listener because of that. We lost 2 listeners in this time. So anyway,
Is that all the listeners?
no, there's
You lost all of them?
two dudes with do is still listening.
Oh,
Well, wow,
congratulations.
and Issa just entered. Welcome, Issa. So
We should stop this because
So-
this is horrifying.
well, it's only my topic for another few minutes.
Oh, fuck.
So the 2 dudes with do says the crap that absolutely scares me is like being in like thigh high marsh and feeling something brush the inner thigh, not knowing what it was.
Oh.
That and the feeling of something going into my nail bed. Okay, so
Oh, yeah, I've had that. Oh,
yeah,
that's a
that is
bad one.
horrifying. Like when a piece of wood or something, a splinter just jams right into your nail bed, or
Yeah.
like I've heard of like the torture method where they jam needles under your nails.
Bamboo and stuff too.
So Quinn, so somebody puts a sounding rod into your penis, and at that exact moment, you realize it's actually made of glass, and
Oh
very
no!
very suddenly, and with like a horrifying snap, they just clap around your cock, shattering the glass sounding rod in your urethra. You feel stabs of burning pain.
Hey, you
Yeah,
gotta stop this. You gotta stop this. I'm fucking tapping out at this point.
I
I
win.
can't do this.
I win
You win.
the Halloween challenge. I think to
Win
sort
the
of hit up
Spooktastic
to hit up
challenge.
to hit up two dudes with do. I'm thinking that something getting under your nails is something like I don't know,
Oh,
like
oh, oh! Be the worst thing to get under your nails is like if somebody um dipped razor blades in salt and vinegar and then shove
oh
them under your
good
fingernails.
god, that's horrifying. And that's the end of the topic.
Thank the fucking Lord above.
Yeah.
That was
So
horrifying.
quick, can you
You
tell?
win the spooktastic.
Could you tell me what time it is?
It's time for the mid-show smoke break, yeah, baby, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's right. It's time for the mid show smoke break. That's the time in the middle of the show where I smoke some ganja.
You know what? I'm gonna start smoking ganja too, because frankly, at this point, I don't care about the no smoking rule in my apartment.
Yeah, it always gets to that point in any apartment.
Because
Eventually, you stop giving any fucks.
well, you don't smell anything.
So
You can't smell anything
two
if
dudes
you
with
smoke
do
it
says
inside.
no. The ropes are right there, which I don't really know what they mean. Um, but yeah, the I definitely know what they mean about like walking through brush and feeling something brush you. Anytime you're in a lake and you feel like something touch you, holy
Yeah,
fuck! Like
that's bad.
it's involuntary, like the shudder that goes through your spine. So
You know
Quinn,
what I hate is
what's
like
that?
being in a forest and hearing like a branch break behind you, like, and you just like look behind you and nothing's there. And then you hear like one like go off again. And you're like, oh no.
So two dudes with do says wrestling. It's a relief from torture. Yeah, I've heard some people find like that sort of like watching wrestling to be like satisfying and a good release from their stress. So Quinn, what do you have for us this week?
Today, Jim, I am bringing back a segment.
Oh, what kind of segment?
Dun, 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 dun. Ow, ow, ow. It's Quinn's History Corner.
But with a goosebump sound like theme song. A very like dubstep slash beatbox
Yup.
up. Chill.
What? Yeah, Christo Ree. So I'm gonna go on the history of the ding dang tradition that we call trick or treating.
Nice. Okay, what do you got for me?
Today I got this Wikipedia page
Yeah.
on trick or treating
Okay.
that I'm gonna kind of summarize.
Yeah.
So today, yeah, it's all things we know.
Okay.
So in Britain and Ireland, the tradition of going back house to house collecting food at Halloween goes back to at least as far as the 16th century, which is
Okay.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's old as shit. That's like 500 years old.
What's interesting is that in North America, it dates back to 1911, and the origin of that place is Ontario, Canada.
Really?
Which,
In
yeah,
North America entirely.
yeah,
That's
North
fucking
America.
crazy.
It's cool. But in the 1920s, they actually started going around in costumes,
Okay.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
so hold on.
but yeah,
When did it start in North America?
in North America, it started in 1911, and I believe there was
So they just
also
walked
there's
around
also
without costumes on, just freeloading little children. Give us candy.
yeah, exactly. And also there's this really cool thing in later on the article. It says in central Mexico, the practice is called calavereta, and it's
Okay.
Spanish for sugar skull. And instead
Yeah.
of trick or treat, the children ask, "Mi da mi calaverita," and it says it means "Can you give me my sugar skull?" Which is and a cavallerita is a small skull made of sugar or chocolate.
I see.
So that's really cool. Do you know any like history about traditions of Halloween? Like,
I know that in Newfoundland and Labrador, where our boys Durf and Dietz are from, there's like this whole like mummers thing. Like
yeah,
yeah.
it's terrifying. It's horrifying.
Oh, Jesus.
I've seen videos of it and it's straight up terrifying. I think it's terrifying, but like I guess it's like an old tradition. They just go around singing songs in these weird ski mask things that they
Right.
design.
Yeah, it is kind of weird as fuck. So Jock has joined the live stream, and he says, "Put your hands in the air, party, 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 drunk, drunk sign." So Jock, if you're drinking with us, if you're in the dark, welcome to the show. Two Dudes
Oh
with
yeah.
Do says, "To be fair, I think some of them had costumes. Just it was plain white sheets. It wasn't creative." I would agree with that. Bitch ass kids walking around in sheets, that's not a costume. Come
No,
on,
it's
get your
not a
shit together.
costume.
Although then later, when costumes kind of became more of a thing in trick or treating, it was like hella fucking creative.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
people got like wicked creative with shit.
I wanted to talk also kind of pivot this topic onto well, I didn't want to talk just specifically about the history of trick or treating. I also wanted to talk about the history of carving pumpkins, and how carving pumpkins
Jack-o'-lanterns.
it dates back to the Celts, and the
The
Celts
Celts,
carved faces on
The
large
Celts, the
turnips.
Celts, dog. They're the Celts.
Celts, yes, I know. I
Celtics.
said I said oh Celts. Did I say Celts again?
You
I
sure
always
did.
say Celt.
Like
It's the Celts, yeah.
it's the Celts.
So they carved large faces on large turnips. And if you get a chance, please Google that. Maybe drop it in the
Oh
chat
yeah,
there,
the
Jim.
turnip jack lanterns. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let me
The
just see if
turnip
I can.
jack-o'-lanterns.
Let me just
It's
see if I can find
horrifying.
one. Let's see, turnip.
And apparently the light shining out of the carved faces scares away evil spirits, and that's why we do it.
Well, yeah, these would easily scare the shit out of evil spirits. They're fucking horrifying. I'm about to drop a image link. Let's see here. Copy.
I feel like I feel like Halloween traditions can only get better. I don't think they can get worse because think about pumpkins. Think about how cool pumpkin
Oh
carving
Jesus!
has
I
gone.
put
Like
the
how
most.
far
I put the
pumpkin
most
carving has.
ridiculous, the ridiculous link in there ever. Okay, hang on. That was not a good link. Okay, let's see here. Let's get this image address. All right, let's try this one.
So think about pumpkin carving. Think about how ridiculous it's gotten. Like they can do whatever they want with pumpkins now.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, they used to like carve a view, they used to carve a clever face, and now it's like a competition. Like if you don't have the best pumpkin, get the fuck out of my face. Like it's like so competitive.
I know, it's so true.
And also Halloween costumes, I feel like going into the history of that. Like I should look up the history live about Halloween costumes.
that
Like,
makes
why
for
do we dress up
that
for
makes for
Halloween?
excellent radio is when you go. Well, I mean,
Well,
like the
you're
whole.
looking up the fucking pictures.
I already
So
dropped it, but the whole thing like about costumes was generally to
Celtics again.
yeah, it was to scare away evil spirits, right? It was to
Yeah.
it was to scare the dead back into being dead.
That's a really cool. That's really dope.
The Home Depot Blimp podcast has joined the show. Thank you. Welcome, welcome to the show.
Welcome Depot Blimp
Home
podcast.
Depot Blimp podcast says, "Dude, welcome, dude.
Welcome.
Dude, right back at you, my dude."
It is
so-
Wednesday. Well, it's actually Thursday, my dudes.
Yeah, it is. It is. Fuck! I thought that was my sound effect thing going like out of control. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
That's what I want to do. Yeah.
So
That's fucking cool as shit.
Joka or Jaka says Frida in Sweden. Friday. Don't know what that
Oh.
means. Maybe that it's Friday in Sweden.
Yeah, that's probably what he means.
Hello to Yoka or Jaka in Sweden.
TGIFF. Thank
yeah.
God it's fucking Friday.
And the Home Depot Blimp podcast is back in the studio. They left briefly. It's so funny, just like narrating like the people that are coming and going in this thing. Yeah, man. Like,
Welcome them.
I've always appreciated a good scary costume. I think like people that trick or treat. There was a point where it just started becoming like costumes, and like that's cool too. Like I love sexy Halloween. You know, Jim's Naughty Bits loves sexy Halloween.
Yeah, I love a good great costume that reveals a lot.
Halloween has essentially become straight pride, right? Because like it's
Yeah.
when straight people get to fucking dress.
And like,
So the Home Depot Blip podcast just said, "I get ice cream at school on Fridays." That's cool, man.
that's
Good,
awesome,
good
man.
for you.
Sweet. I love ice cream.
I have a
I
feeling
like
he's
getting it
just-
for free on. Well, do you get it on for free, or do you have to pay for it?
So Two Dudes with Do says, "I had the saddest Hercules the TV show costume when I was 8." There is absolutely nothing sad about that.
That's awesome.
That's the
dude.
coolest fucking things I've ever heard. Home
So
Depot Blimp
what are
podcast says,
some of your
I like
favorite Oh, sorry.
Home Depot Blimp podcast says, "I like Cars 3."
That's a bad movie.
Yeah,
You feel bad for liking
that's a
that.
bad choice.
No, wait. Cars 3 is all right. Cars 2 is bad.
Two Dudes with Do says, "Fake foam chest." With that Hercules costume
Nice.
because of
What
course.
what are some of your best costumes over the years, Jim?
I'd say that probably the best costume I ever did was one of the Boondock Saints, and the reason behind that was that it was very easy. Other than like drawing the tattoo
You
on
did
my
that
neck.
to me.
Yeah,
You did that for me
I have
too.
done that. Yeah, and on the hand as well. It's a very easy costume because they just wear clothes basically, like they just wear dude clothes, and it got me super laid that Halloween. So I mean,
Fucking A.
I can't really complain about it. I also have gone as Jack from Fight Club, so like the Edward Norton character, just with a bunch of bruises and shit. And I've gone as I went 1 year I went as Mark David Chapman, the guy that killed John Lennon.
Jesus.
Didn't go
I
over
remember
super
that.
well. I mean, it was a very good costume. Like I looked just like him, but it was a bad time. Home Depot Blimp podcast says, "I hate Cars 2. It is agent crap, not heckin' racing. Cars 2 is freaking crap." Fuck,
I
man.
agree.
I am into this guy being into the Cars franchise.
He's like, I like Cars 1, all right.
Cars 3 is
awesome.
fantastic.
Cars
Fuck Cars 2. Cars 2 can fucking suck a dick.
Cars 2 doesn't deserve a happy Halloween. Cars 2 deserves a terrible Halloween.
So we have 5 people listening now. Welcome Mish and LXX7SK. We've also got Yoke, Two Dudes with Do, the Home Depot Blimp podcast. We've got a nice little crowd gathering here. It's too bad our show is so goddamn short because it's almost over. You guys came in at the very end.
Oh yeah, you know what's funny is I had a costume that it was reoccurring.
Okay,
and
hold on. Home Depot Blimps podcast says, "Welcome to Stupid Cars 2 movie, and we are dumb." So I don't know. So go ahead with your reoccurring podcast. I mean, costume. That's the end of the topic, by the way.
I went as Deadpool several years in a row. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
We should go on for a little longer just to give them a little something.
Yeah, so Two Dudes with Do says, "I got notified 20 minutes ago." Yes, that's correct. That's when it started. Our podcast is
20 minutes long.
So LXS7SK says, "I need some context." Oh, too late. Home Depot Blip says, "I love you podcast." So
Thank you.
Basically,
We love you too.
What we were doing is having a Halloween live stream episode. Every year we have a special Halloween episode where we listen in the dark. So we hope that you're in the dark with us. Because it's a good time to be creeped out. We were talking about.
Let's get spooky with us, yeah.
That's right. So we've actually finished both of our topics, which usually ends the show. At that point, we stop talking to each other because we basically hate each other's guts and can't stand each other.
He says that, but he legit likes talking to me. I know he does.
So the Home Depot Blimp podcast says, "I hate Halloween, but not the podcast. I don't hate Halloween."
Fuck.
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but I'm digging the Home Depot Flip podcast's involvement in this episode.
Me too.
By the way,
us going.
this will be posted after the show. We're gonna share this after. I might have to edit it a tad, but we'll be going live, and we'll have this as a regular episode. You could subscribe now wherever fine podcasts are to be found. Yeah. So I'm just going to reach out to the audience. What are your biggest fears? Yoke says, "What the fuck are you smoking, the Home Depot?" It's a good question. What I'm smoking as the host is marijuana.
Me too.
What are some of your major fears, people in the audience? Quinn, some of Quinn's are aliens and alien invasions. Some of mine and having things stuck in his urethra.
That's like a pretty fucking normal one. I mean, most people probably have that fucking one if they have a urethra. Oh, everybody has urethra, right? Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I think, yeah, definitely. Women have urethras. They're just like they're just different. They're shaped a different way. Um,
Welcome to your spooky urethra talk.
Welcome to Spooky Anatomy. Anybody who wants to share their fears, Two Dudes with Do says most men have the fear of penis rods. You know what? I would agree with that.
Penis rods are like probably
They say embrace this. It's probably
embrace the
it's one
fear.
of those fears that has led to mankind's survival for thousands of years.
Master Wade, you have to control the fear. I don't know what this Michael Caine impression is, but you have to control the fear.
LXX
A rod stuck in your urethra.
LXX7SK says urethra is vaguely Cthulhu sounding. Yoke says the fuck. Home Depot Blimp Podcast says H. Just the letter H.
Today's Halloween episode is brought to you by the letter H. I'm sure they meant to write Halloween is a very special time for me.
They followed it up with how you heck.
How you heck?
How you heck. It's a statement for the ages.
How do I heck? Well, it ain't easy.
One
ain't easy.
one leg at a time, just like everybody else. Yeah.
I don't typically give a lot of hecks.
Throw out some of your fears, guys. Let's just share, become vulnerable, share your biggest and most intense fears with the rest of us, with the rest of the audience.
Share with the group. What are some of your other ones?
Chucky the Stupid Doll says Two Dudes with Do. They also said having things jammed into their nail beds and being brushed in like waist high marshes.
Mm-hmm. Home Depot. I would say any open water is mine. Like big bodies of water are pretty scary because and especially being alone in one.
Yeah,
spooky.
Definitely. I would say, to be honest, like being alone in the woods or like at night in any kind of nature is pretty terrifying. LXX7SK says I dream about my teeth falling out far too often. Yeah, that's a fucked up one. That's a normal one. It is a normal. I mean, it means you're afraid of getting old, but it's
I think I've started to have dreams about having hair, which if the listener doesn't know,
he's bald as motherfucker.
I'm a proud bald person right now.
Yeah.
I can still grow hair. It's not very thick. It's not very there. So I started to have dreams about growing hair, and I'm not sure if that's like a fear thing of like losing my hair,
right?
Or if it's just like kind of like my brain's like, I got you, bro. I'll give you some of this dopamine.
Two Dudes with Do says seeing the movement in the woods at night, like if you look out a window at night, that stuff will mess with you. I fucking agree with that shit.
Yep.
That is.
I used to live in. Well, I used to get stoned, and I used to live in more of a foresty area. Like we had forests all kind of around us.
Right.
And whenever I would get stoned and I was home alone.
Yo, Home Depot Blimp Podcast, stop telling people to follow you or I'm gonna boot you. That's the last warning. Yeah. So, okay, that's you're done. Okay, so let's get this guy the fuck out of here. There we go. Yeah, like, I don't know, having dreams about your teeth falling out or your hair falling out or, Two Dudes with Do says, I'll be following you boys more closely. Thanks for the entertaining last 30 of my world work day. No problem, man. You fucking... Thanks for joining. This is our first live podcast ever, so we might do more in the future, knowing how simple this is at this point.
Anyways, to complete my thought, I used to get stoned, and I used to be in a forest area, and I would like lock all the doors, and I would be convinced that like something was coming, and there's no reason for it. I lived in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
There's no reason to suspect that anybody was coming for me or anything was coming for me.
That's most likely, right? Like that, like something attacks you is when you are in the middle of nowhere. LXX7SK says pot paranoia. You fucking know it. When you get high, it's just like suddenly everything is threatening all at once.
I'm recording right now alone in my apartment in the dark, so I do things for this show that I wouldn't normally do, but it's because I sacrifice.
Yeah.
I bleed every day for this show.
Sacrifice hard. Anyway, we've been the Jupiter Boys. Thank you for listening for the last, half hour ish. We really appreciate it. This is the first time we've tried this, so we will do another one of these going forward. Just keep an eye on this space, as they say. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at the Jupiter Boys.
I'm at Quinn Jupiter.
Thank you to Christo Graham for the use of our theme music.
Christo, Graham. Christo, Graham.
Thank you, Quinn.
You're welcome.
Goodbye, Home Depot Blimp Podcast. So like I don't know how they got back in here. I thought I blocked them, but anyway, we're wrapping the show anyway. You can go to thejupiterboys.com. There's also some shit in there. There you can buy buy merchandise and shit. We're part of the Dolphin Shark Network with another podcast called Durf and Deets. They're pretty dope too. They're out of Newfoundland, Canada. They're great. They don't give any fucks. And other than that, just stay spoopy and enjoy your Halloween. Please have a safe one and shoot those nuts
straight down your spooky skeleton gullets.
Bye, folks.
With Dolphin Shark.